So Bobby, tell us a little bit about how you got your start in the citrus industry.
Well, I just come back out of the service, and I went there and went to work in April of 1956.
Was this at DeSoto
Yeah,
Canning Company?
I went to DeSoto Canning Company. I went into the label department. Then I took over the label department, and all shipping and all labeling took over that to start with, all the warehousings.
And when you
And
say the labeling, what exactly did that entail?
This label right here where you put it on the cans,
Okay.
it goes through a labeling machine. The machine puts the label on it and it goes down to a boxing machine where it's put back in the boxes. Then it comes off onto a belt, goes through what we call a case gluer. It glued the cases together where the lids would be down and glued them together.
Okay.
Then it went through a press and went out to the end, go to the warehouse to be stacked off to go to the box cars or the trucks where we was loading at. That's where we went on it, yeah. That's called the label department.
And was the canning company right there by the railroad tracks then?
It's by the railroad tracks. All of our cans come in by rail. A lot of our goods went out by rail. A lot of them went out by truck too.
Okay.
Then they come along in 1960 and come along with Sealand. We used to carry this products on trucks over to Tampa and unload it at the docks. Then they come up with Sealand trailers. So we loaded on the trailers and they'd pick them up and take them back, take them off the chassis and set them on the boats in. That's the way they started doing it. Eliminated a lot of labor, handling goods is what it was.
Now, was Moonkiss your only brand?
No, we packed for other people. If it said packed by, it means we packed it.
Okay.
If it said distributed by, it could be anybody's label going on it. Because that's the way it had to be. If it was distributed, it had to be, it could be any juice from any plant.
Okay.
But if it said packed by, it had to be packed by you.
Okay.
That Moonkiss was our personal label, and that's why it says packed by on it.
Now tell me how, you were just telling me a different story as far as, how did that get its name? That was neat.
Pardon?
Tell me how it got its name. That was a nice story.
Oh, my boss man that I went to work for, he had a home down in Sunny Isles in Miami. And he used to bring us buyers down there, usually around Christmas time and all. He had big parties down there for them. And someone went on to the beach that night and they come back and he said, y'all been moon-kissed. And that's where he come up with the moon-kissed label.
I love that.
Yeah, he had, I know Sun-Kissed tried to take him to court on it, but they couldn't do it. I mean, it was moon-kissed.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, Sun-Kissed out in California.
Right. Yes, I didn't realize that. And so how, did that go on for a long time, that lawsuit, or?
No, it didn't last long. They just tried to bring it up, but they couldn't bring it up, nothing on him, so it went on just like it was.
That's
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
And so now you have, in this one we have tangerine juice, your blend, and then your salad sections.
Sections, yeah.
Were those?
We put that sections in a number 3 can, a little smaller than this can here. It's the number 3, that's the number 2.
And what was the difference between them? Just
Well,
the
it's
size?
the weight of the fruit. It was a 1 pound tin is what it was. 1 pound weight of product going in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and this other's by ounces, but it's your sections is by pound. How many pounds is in it? Yeah.
Okay. Now at that time, who else was packing salads? Because there weren't as many people. I know Bordeaux was doing that, and a few others, but not a lot of people did
Yeah,
that.
there
right?
was at one time there was quite a few people in salad. Tropicana was. Mr. Rossi packed salad over there at one time.
Okay.
In fact, he brought pineapples across from Mexico with a boat and packed salad over there at his plant in Bradenton,
Right.
his Tropicana plant. And also, the old plant over there in trying to think of the name of the man that had it at the time. Then he sold it out. But his nephew bought it back, Ben Hill Griffin Jr.
Oh, okay.
Bought it back and turned it over to concentrate. It was a single strain.
Was that Maxie?
This is what we call Maxie.
Maxie.
Maxie Corporation.
Okay.
Yeah, Lat Maxie. That's
Got
who
it.
he was.
Okay.
Lat Maxie. Yeah. Yeah. His old brand was Silvernip. No, Silvernip. Yeah.
Silvernip. I've actually
Silvernip.
have a few of the bottles of Silvernip.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. In fact, they got some grove out in Lily by where we are. It's got Silvernip grove on it
Oh, really?
because some of his people hand down, some of his children back is had it there at Severnip.
Okay.
But that was his brand, Severnip.
I always wondered what that was, where he got that name from, so I figured it must have been a dog or something,
I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
where they got it from, really. That was for my time when it come out, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go back to then DeSoto Canning Company and tell us a little bit more about your work there.
Well, I was there about when 1961, he come to me and wanted me to take over the whole plant.
And who was that?
Mr. Morgan, L.O. Morgan.
He's the one who owned
He's
it?
the one that owned it, yeah. He was the owner of it, him and his wife, yeah. He owned Sunny South Packing Company, and he owned a lot of corporations in Groves. Different corporations. He had Dixie Grove and Cattle Company,
Okay.
and he had Sunny South, and then he had Josh's Creek Groves, and let's see, he had quite a few Bremore corporations. He had a lot of
Okay.
corporations.
Right.
He bought that bank when it went broke and during the Depression. The First National Bank uptown, he bought that
Here in Arcadia?
in Arcadia when they
Okay.
auctioned everything off. He set up a corporation in St. Petersburg, yeah, and he bid on it, that bank, at one bid. And when he auctioned it off, the auctioneer told him, said, we got one bid. If the bid's greater than anything else, it'll go as one lump sum. If it don't, it'll be go out in pieces. So they auctioned it off, and he had the bid, the highest bid on all of it. So
Oh, my.
he bought it, yeah. And in fact, he owned it six months before anybody knew he had it in Arcadia.
That's hard to keep secret in Arcadia for 6 months now.
Well, Doug Treadwell Sr. was an attorney then, and he met
Okay.
him in the post office. He said, look, y'all let somebody steal that bank. He said, I'm mad he paid for it. But that's where he got started. That's the bank that turned into the First Federal uptown.
Okay.
It used to be the old First National Bank.
Right.
Yeah. That was the one, yeah.
Well, how did he get into citrus then, or was he already in citrus
Well,
before he bought the bank?
His father had some citrus
Okay.
when he was a child. He went to Annapolis to start with, and he left high school. He played a lot of baseball, and his father said, you're going to leave that baseball glove at home. I'm sending you to get an education. But anyhow, he went up there, stayed a year up there for this one term, and he didn't like it. He told me, he said, I was dumb. He sent me home. I said, no, I know better. You just didn't want to be a midshipman. But anyhow, he come back here and went to the University of Florida. That's where he went to. He was a pilot in World War I.
Oh, wow.
He flew in World War I. Said he landed in cornfields where they could land in. Yeah,
Those different times, for sure.
yeah.
And so when did the canning company start then?
This canning company used to be a big co-op at one time, and the 1926 hurricane tore it down.
Wow.
And none of them didn't want to build it back. So he built back. He had John Chris to build it back for him.
What was the
And
name of the co-op, do you remember?
It was, pardon?
Do you remember what the name of the co-op was at the time before?
No, I don't know what it was.
Just
It
curious.
just had different labels.
Okay.
We had some of the old labels there, but it was different ones. What it was just a byproduct, running a byproduct from chilled juice. There wasn't that much canning going on at that time.
Right.
And then he opened it back up. We had section line. We had we run sections and juice, grapefruit sections, and also salad sections, in different size cans.
Okay.
This is a commissary pack, what we call a 404, and 303 was just for household use,
So commissary would be like going to the big box
Big
stores?
places where they used a lot of it, yes.
Okay.
Yes, commissary, where they go, serving restaurants and all is what it
Right.
was, called a commissary pack,
Okay.
yeah. And I worked there to 1961. He wanted me to take over the whole plant.
Oh, wow.
So I took over the plant and ran it till we shut it down in 1974. It was the last year we run. We run sections of last year in 1973. And it got to where you just couldn't get the labor to do the work, and it got expensive.
Right.
And at the time, Israel had started packing a lot of sections over there. And there was quite a bit cheaper than what you could pack them for here, so that kind of drove us out of it too.
Which is the same
Yeah.
old story, doesn't it?
Right. Well, they subsidized Israel a lot to help them, which they needed to, you know,
Right.
get them started when they come back. And it was quite an experience. And I went to the first 4 or 5 years I was there. It just kept adding to me into the maintenance and over to doing everything else. And then that's when he asked me to take over the plant.
And so what were some of the changes that you had take place during your time as running it?
Well, we had several changes. Had the water pollution deal, you know. You couldn't dump it into the creek or anything else.
Right.
So we had to go with a spray fill. Everything had to go in that tank. We had Fitzgay out of Orlando to come in and engineer it for us. So we kept all of our water, you know, come in contact with the fruit, had to go in the spray fill.
Okay.
Then we got into air pollution, which we had to go with another feed mill and go with the molasses, put the molasses back on the fruit, on the juice. And you had to have a cleaning area up in the stack, the water sprayed back in there to take care of all the dust. You had to have a stack test on it to make sure that you wasn't polluting the air, yeah.
And that was with the feed?
That was feed mill,
Right.
yeah. Citrus pulp, yeah.
Yes. Now, is that something, I don't remember when that started. I know that the byproducts started fairly early, I guess, in terms of everything else.
Byproducts is on the feed was, the first feed mill they put in was in the 40s.
Okay.
And the first feed mill that Soda County Company had was in the 40s. And I talked to the man, he was in the feed mill business, that come up with the liming. The liming taking the patent out where they could squeeze the juice out of it.
Okay.
In other words, where they could squeeze it. It wouldn't be slick. And he come up with a lining process. Then he tried to patent it, and he got in a lawsuit with the state because the state said, you work for us when you done it. So finally, they offered him, said, we'll give you $1 a ton for all the feed it'd do it if you'd take it that way. He wouldn't do it. And he told me, he said he'd been a millionaire many, many times if he'd have done that.
Who was
but he
that?
lost it.
Who
He
was
lost
that?
the
Do you
lawsuit.
remember what his name was?
God.
Because he was with the university, with IFAS, right?
Yeah, he worked with the state too
Right.
on that. That's where he come up with the lime. And I know his name, but I can't pull it up on my mind.
I mean, I'm the same here. I remember thinking,
Yeah.
hearing about how it was developed
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
through the
yeah.
IFAS labs, I think, or
Yeah,
USDA,
yeah,
one of the two.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that they wouldn't let him benefit from that since.
Well, he
Same thing with the concentrate guys, though.
when they tried to settle with him, you know, say we give you $1 a ton on every ton of citrus pulp was run. At that time, it was a lot of citrus pulp run. It was over 200 and something million boxes of fruit.
Oh, wow.
You had a lot of pulp.
Should have taken the $1.
He should have taken $1 a ton, but he didn't. He said that, but he
Oh,
didn't
no.
take it. But he was still in the feed mill business when he passed away.
Was he?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
he put that
interesting.
last feed mill in for us, yeah.
So, so what were some of the other changes then that you said, that you saw through that?
Well, the changes at the plants, they started going to concentrate. That's what took over single strength.
Right.
This is what you call single strength, hot pack. And concentrate took over. The first oranges we sold for concentrate was up at Cypress Gardens Processors there in
Right.
Winter Haven.
Yes, uh-huh.
Right side the road. They had the only concentrate plant that I knew of at that time. It was a big a big outfit anyhow.
Was that Bordeaux? Who was that?
No, it was, they just call it Cypress
Cypress
Gardens.
Gardens.
That's all I know.
Okay, I mean, I remember seeing their cans with the water skier on
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
with the label.
yeah, Cypress
And that's
Gardens.
Snively's, I think.
But we sold, after the 57 freeze, we sold them to Valanches.
Okay.
And Mr. Morgan came down and told Jaime Adams and myself, he says, you need to go up and see how we're gonna figure pound solids. We sold fruit on pound solids, we never done that. So we had to go up there and see how they figured pound solids. And figure that out with them, because we sold it for that, yeah. And we run it on up to about 5 years before we shut the plant down. He asked me, he says, get you a plant man to run this plant, and you just take over the groves and everything. So they didn't take care of these groves. And I said, I can't do it, it's too much. It was a small operation. You had to do all your purchasing and everything yourself, and you just couldn't hardly find nobody to come in and take over it.
Right.
So I told him I couldn't do it. So when it got down to where we didn't have enough to run the plant again, to keep it running like it ought to, when we didn't have the oranges, didn't have the fruit, because they hadn't set a tree in 16 years.
Oh my gosh.
1962 it froze. They lost a lot of trees then. But when we shut it down, he said, well, I want to see the groves brought back. He said, all we got is real estate. We ain't got no groves. He said, would you take over the groves now? If you don't, I'm going to sell them. I ain't got no real estate. You want to see them come back? I said, yeah, I'll try it. But we rode them for about 2 weeks before I told him I'd do it. And had more oak trees, and some of them you had orange trees.
Oh my gosh.
But it was a challenge.
Now, did you already know the production techniques for citrus at that time from working in your families?
I just had a small grower I brought from my father, so
Right.
that's all I'd done.
Okay.
He just had confidence in me because he knew I'd run that plant, and he knew I could handle labor and everything. And he told me, if you take them over, I'll let you do what you want to on them. So that's what we done. And
How many acres were at that time?
that time is 3,300 acres.
That's a lot for down here, though.
Yeah, but he passed away in 1975, when half of what he had went into the foundation. Half of it had to be sold to go in the foundation.
What foundation?
Gertrude and L.R. Morgan Foundation. Yeah,
Okay. And what did they do with that?
they give the money away to charity. People that needs it, churches and all. A lot
Okay.
of churches got it. They helped a lot of churches out.
Was it strictly in this area, or was it
Yeah,
also
well, he,
down south because it was from down
He
south?
gave some of the land too, up here to Morgan Park. That was it.
Okay.
The park up there, just as you go across the river bridge.
Right.
He owned all that property. He gave that to the county for a park there too. He owned that, and he owned it back at the Woman's Club, all that back in there, to what we call the Morgan Park. He owned that. They donated that land to the county for a park. That's what he done, a lot of it. He gave to charity a lot of it,
Wow.
for benefits to the county,
He sounds like quite a man.
Yeah. But we took the other half, and his widow got that. And Robert Summeralls, he was at the office at the time, main one at the office, and I was at the plant. And we kind of took it in charge to keep it going,
Right.
and put some of them under irrigation. But the freezes started coming in the 80s. We had to change. We didn't have enough water, to take care of cold weather.
Right.
We was planting a lot of trees, was losing a lot of them from the cold. So me and Bob sat down and talked about it. I said we need to take one grove at a time, put a well in big enough to take care of microjets. At that time, microjet was just coming in, and that's what we done. It took us 20 years to get them all planted back.
And
And the other parts are planted with it too. Some of this grove pasture land, we turned it into groves. Yeah.
so how did those fare through the freezes of the 80s then?
80s was terrible.
Yeah.
81 was really one that hurt us bad. We had them under irrigation, but we didn't have enough microjet. If you had enough to water 100 acres, but you can only water 20 acres at a time, you just can't save everything.
Right.
And that's why we went to microjet and put in larger wells. The 80s hurt a lot of people. In fact, Steve Fudge, that's what put them out of business, I think, 83.
Yes.
He was in the business up there too, in Polk County or Lake County, wherever he's from. But
I think it was in Polk County.
yeah,
Yep.
anyhow, they lost there is what he done, yeah. And he went back to work for the state of Florida, yeah.
Well, good thing for the state of Florida.
Yeah, well, if we'd have got froze out in 83, we wouldn't have come back either. 81 really knocked us back real bad.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them trees, we had to cut them off down pretty low with chainsaws because they got killed by it with 81 freeze. But we were coming back in 83, but it didn't hurt us that bad. We had enough, irrigation to keep us going, and we built from there. But we come on up. Everything looked good. So around 2000.
And the hurricanes hit then?
We went through hurricanes, but the worst freeze was '89. That was
Right.
the worst freeze. That's when it snowed. And when I saw some snow in '57 too, but not like it did in '89.
We had snow in 77
'77.
in Polk County. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It snowed in '89 here. In fact, you was freezing up there before we was freezing down here.
Right.
I could see the smoke coming off the ponds, and I called my son. I told him, I said, we better get these pumps going. I said, it's going to get cold. So he got all the pumps going. And 9 o'clock, about 9 or 10 o'clock, we got them all going, but he started making ice around outside edges. And I told him, I said, let's go home. And I said, we'll come back in the morning and check everything out. I went home and pulled my coat off and said, I'm watching the weather. It was Christmas Eve, and I told my wife, I said, I'll see you later. And I got up and got my coat and left.
Gosh.
And the next morning I come home at 9 o'clock and got me a shower again. Went back to the Grove, said, didn't even eat Christmas dinner with them.
Oh,
I just had to get back. Everything was froze, iced over, and I couldn't let one of them pumps shut down. So I was riding pumps all the time. They're just checking them, making sure they're running. And that was the worst one. '89 was a hard freeze, real hard.
Did you lose a lot during the 89 freeze, though? Or did the
Well,
microjets work?
'89 freeze, we lost a lot of fruit, yes. A lot of fruit got frozen. But the trees come through it pretty good, from the water going on them,
Right,
You
'cause you
lost
had
some
microjets.
leaves and all, but they didn't kill them back.
Not like 81.
Not like '81. '81 was a hard one. But we didn't have the water systems in to take care of it either.
Right.
A lot of people had water system, had overhead irrigation. To run that, it'd just break the tree down.
Just too heavy with the ice,
freeze,
right?
You have everything ice over you. But
So then after 89, you were able to come back after that then?
yeah, we was able to come back good after '89.
Now, how many acres were you managing at that point? I mean, 81, you lost a lot of trees, but you started
Yeah.
replanting?
Yeah, we come back. We was probably 1,200, 1,300 acres at that time.
In 81?
At '81, yeah.
And then at 89,
'89, I made '89's when
had,
it's when we were about 1,300 acres, yeah.
and what was it after 81?
'81, I say we probably had 800 or 900 acres under growth in at that time.
Okay.
Yeah. And but we made it back, and everything went good. Production started coming up everywhere, all over the state at that time. Well, in 1962, a lot of these people up in Polk County and all, they moved down to Immokalee and started field farming down there.
That was the Paul family and some of the other guys, right?
Yep,
The
yep,
Berries?
yeah.
So, so that was after the 61 freeze that they started coming down? Did you say 60s?
62.
62
After the
freeze?
62, yeah.
Okay. And
That's why they started moving south with some of it. Because Wells had a Circle Bar ranch down there, and they sold that for groves.
okay.
And they started putting groves down there, yeah.
And who was that? Wells? What was
It was Ed Wells.
Ed Wells? And what was the
Ed
name of the
Wells
ranch?
Fruit Company. They used to have a packing house here between Nocatee and Fort Ogden here on the right-hand side. Fresh fruit packer, yeah.
And what was the name of the packing house?
It was Wells Fruit
It
Company.
was Wells Fruit Company.
Wells Fruit Company, yeah.
Okay. And what was the name of the ranch?
It was Circle Bar down in
Oh.
Immokalee.
Is that the one that's the Circle Bar?
And LaBelle, I'm sorry.
LaBelle, okay.
Yeah. LaBelle's where it was, yeah. That's where it started and went on down to Immokalee,
Okay.
yeah. But,
I was wondering if that was the one that they had turned into, it's all housing now, but it's in Fort Myers. I don't know if it's the same one or not.
yeah.
Might be.
I don't really remember, yeah.
But so the Wells family got completely out, and a lot of the people from Polk County moved south.
Yeah, right, yeah, a lot of them went south, yeah.
And how did that affect the Arcadia area, the DeSoto County area?
Well, we used to be on the southern end of the citrus belt. Then after that happened in '62, we moved further up north. We was getting further up on the citrus belt.
You're close to the top now, aren't you?
Right, yeah.
Now, does DeSoto County, are they one of the leading counties that have citrus trees today?
Well, there was, yeah, we was pretty high up with citrus at one time. Pope was the highest, but
But not anymore.
one time there we passed them, and
Right.
that's because their groves went down on them, yeah.
Right.
But we're slipping too. Everybody's slipping now on the
Oh,
citrus.
That's with the greening, but,
The greening is something else. We've
Mhm.
overcome canker and we've overcome everything else, but greening is really taking a toll on us.
yeah,
Yeah.
I heard that they think they might have something in the works now that if they can just get it passed through FDA, that it might,
Well, they're doing an injection now.
Right.
Down just below the bud union. They're making a hole in there, and putting it in there where you can just let it run out gradual. And I reckon it kills it in the roots, and it helps them. I don't know how expensive that's gonna be or how it's gonna be, where it's gonna be feasible or not.
right.
I think the jury's still out on that one. But we handled it a lot of times, with the nutritional sprays and all that we done.
Right.
We done soil samples and leaf samples, and we fed the tree according to what they said we needed to do. That's what we done, and it was pretty successful for us.
Well, that's good.
And we had we was the biggest Bernia grower there was around. We had
The biggest-
274 acres of Bernia that we put in. They
Okay.
used to call it a early Valencia when it came out with it. Then they changed it over to a mid-season, but
Okay.
it still is, quality's great. It's a good orange. I was going to Tropicana with it, and they had one man that bought all the Bernia juice that we had.
Really?
Yeah, I'd run in 7, 8 loads a day over there, and they would pull them aside. They got it all over there, and then they'd run it. And Mitch told me, he says, we got one customer don't want nothing but Bernia juice. He gets all this Bernia you put out.
I wonder who the customer was. Did he ever tell you who the customer was?
He didn't say. He didn't tell me.
Didn't want you to go cut out the middleman.
He didn't tell me. He didn't tell me what they was paying for it either.
Oh, I'm sure it was a lot more than you were getting.
It was funny. They had when Pepsi bought it, they had a place up in Chicago where they had all the meetings.
Okay.
And they called me and said, we want an orange trip. There's some oranges on it, the big one, in a tub. Bring it up here. We can set it in the hall. We want it there because we're in the citrus business too. So he said he looked everywhere and he could find one, but he couldn't find that with oranges on it. I had them Bernie out there, and he says, can I go and cut some stems on them Bernie and leave them on them and get a box of them? I said, yeah. He took them and wired them on a little fine wire where they couldn't see it. Took them up here.
Did he send you a picture?
And then he told him, he said, when he got through, he said, you want to try that juice? I said, yeah. So I took them in there and had them squeezed, brought it back, said, well, that's good juice.
That was pretty clever.
That's the only way you get a tree up here for him.
And who was that?
That was Mitch. He was over in Tropicana, yeah.
What was his last name?
Mitch, he's the one, he came over there when they built that big glass plant. He run that glass plant for a long
Okay.
time for him.
I know I've seen his last name. I just can't bring it up right now.
Yeah, Mitch, when I done business with all of them, over there for
Right.
years, yeah. Mhm.
Now, how long ago was that happen?
Oh, could have probably been 10, 12 years ago, maybe 8 or 10, I don't remember.
And so what company were you with then?
I was with Sunny South Packing Company.
Sunny South Packing Company?
I'm president of Sunny South Packing Company.
Okay. Now, Sunny South's still part of DeSoto? It was, didn't you
Sunny
say?
South's the one that the man that owned this on Sunny South too.
Okay, perfect. So
Yeah.
tell us now about how it evolved from DeSoto Canning into Sunny South.
Well, he was Sunny South then too. He packed. We had a packing house up on Hickory Street.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a packing house there that burnt down in, I believe it was '66. When Hurricane Donna come, he asked me, he said, will you go back and fix that roof on that packing house for me? I said, yeah. So I put 138 squares of metal on that, put skylights in it and Tupelo and redone it all. Then he brought Tipton in from Food and Machinery.
Right.
Redone all the bins and all the belts and everything. It was just like a new packing house whenever it burned,
Oh, gosh.
you know.
How long after you had done all that did it burn?
Oh,
That,
I've done it in '60, so it's probably 6 years later.
oh, what a shame.
Yeah, 6 years later. They never did run it anymore. Run packed the last time, 1958. It's the last packet we did.
It's a
Yeah.
shame. So Sunny South, so when you left, when DeSoto shut down in 74, is that correct?
74, correct.
74? So then tell us what happened after that.
Well, we just, he asked me, he says, we're going to sell these oranges, where we're going to sell them at? I said, well, I used to sell Dan Lovelace. He was with Tropicana at that time with Mr. Rossi. And I said I always sold him the Balances on the telephone because we didn't run no Balances. It was high brick stuff,
High bricks.
and all, and just wasn't feasible to put them in a can. And we sold them for children. Well, that time it was pasteurized. They put them in glass. And he said, okay, call them. And I called Dan, and he said, yeah, I want to buy them, but I ain't going to buy them on the phone. So I'm going to send Clayton McDonald to see you. I don't know if we ever knew Clayton or not.
I did not know.
But anyhow, he was the main buyer for him that time. So he came over and met us on Saturday at the office. Mr. Morgan said, now, you do all the talking. I'm not going to do it. And said, if you make a mistake, I'll tell you after he leaves. I said, okay. So he came in, and I sold him the oranges. I think it was around 50 cents on the floor, and the rest the rice. And the grapefruit, he said, I'll give you $2 a box, deliver it in, or I'll give you 65 cents a pound solids. I said, we'll take 65 cents a pound solids. When after he left, he said, you made one mistake. Said, you should have sold them for $2 a box. I said, no, we got 5 and 6 pound grapefruit. These old trees, Duncan grapefruit trees, they've got a lot of solids in them. He said, when you ain't got to change it. I made mistakes. If you make a mistake, we learn from it. I said, okay. So we stayed at that. And first check come in, it was $3 or something a box.
Oh my gosh, so you made the right decision.
I was over talking to Dan. He told the girl, the secretary, he says, get Sonny South's a folder out. I want to look at it. And he got looking at it. He said, why in the world did Clayton pay that for them grapefruit? I said, that's the only way we'd sell them.
That's wonderful. Are there still any Duncans around? That was my father's favorite fruit, and he can't
No,
find it
it's-
anymore.
Well, we pushed them all when
Yeah.
canker come in. We had, on 31, we had a 20-acre block and a 15-acre block of grapefruit in different areas. And it got canker in it, so we lost the whole 200 acres. I got some pictures at home where I took pictures of them oranges before they pushed them. Boy, they were beautiful. You can't believe what a grove looked like then.
And it's frustrating now because they're not pushing them anymore, and you wonder how long you could have lived with that. And
Yeah, well.
in hindsight's 2020, I guess.
Well, it's
Yeah.
the bad part, they just didn't think they could ever beat it, but we did. I know I had it, but we kept one spray machine ready to go all the time. We used copper and sulfur and bond. Bond would hold it on the tree,
Right.
a sticker. And we used that, and we whipped it with that. If I found some canker, we just went and sprayed it. Just kept spraying it, we got it whipped.
That's
And but we had it whipped. I know Steve and also Jim, the one with the canker, what was his name? Jim Graham.
Graham. Okay.
Yeah, Jim Graham. They were looking at some earlies I had down there. I had some Westons and also some early golds. They had it on it. And they were looking at them, and I says, I got some canker on that block I planted out on 31. Had 200 acres out there in the Fernia. And I said, I got some canker on that. You want to see it? Yeah, we'll go look at it. So they went and looked at it. And Steve told me, he said, Bobby, it's already on the stem. He says, you'll never whip it. You'll never whip it. You'll never get rid of it. Graham said, here's a 3-year-old grove. It ain't going to be nothing. So later on, I kind of had the canker whipped on the others, and they come looking at it, both of them. And we rode to it looking, and said, well, so I see it from the road, and says, you know, the fruit ain't falling on the ground. But I told him, I said, you want to go look at that 31 block, that burning? Yeah, let's go look at that. And I drove them in there, couldn't find no canker, and they couldn't believe what it looked like. God, it was a beautiful grove.
Wow.
And, yeah, but we had it whipped there too.
Well, is that something that they are using now? Is that, because since they're
No,
not pushing anything over?
you don't have no problem with it anymore. You'll find a spot here and there where the wind will blow it in from somewhere, but if you just keep it sprayed.
Takes care of it.
Keep it, yeah, it'll take care of it. Anything that's got metal in it will take care of it. When you spray these metals, it'll take care of it.
Now, back to Sunny South. So you were, after you had the canker came in what year?
Canker came in and I believe it was in, we pushed that one out over there and let's see, it was 2002 when we pushed it, yeah.
Wow.
We set it back in 2004
Okay.
in Vernia. It's still in Vernia.
And how is production now?
Production's going down on it. If production was good 2 years ago.
But is the greening got in?
We got a lot of Benton in there too. Benton rootstock.
Okay.
That's an improved creosote. And it's like the creosote, it just ain't gonna hold up.
No.
It produced good to start with, but right now it's still dying back, and I'm still replacing it. And the Vernia, the Swingle's holding up a lot better than the Benton is.
I understand.
But all the resets going there is 812s.
Okay. Now, in 2004, when all the hurricanes hit, did you guys get a lot of flooding here?
Any what?
A lot of flooding? What happened here
Oh,
with the
yeah,
hurricanes?
2004.
Mm-hmm.
We lost a lot of trees in 2004.
Because some of the pictures I saw, they were just almost flattened.
Donna came,
No, this was those
Yeah.
three, the three.
Yeah.
Charlie,
came through. It was Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie. Donna cut through in 60.
yes.
And it was Charlie in
There were three of them.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
2004.
Mm-hmm.
2004 when Charlie came through.
Yeah, so I know I'd seen a lot of groves just almost flattened. It was crazy. And then a lot of water.
It come right up through the river. Anything we had close to the river, it worked on it. And a lot of them, it twisted them around, broke them up, and they just started dying.
Right.
They just didn't make it.
So have you replanted on some of that property?
Yeah, we had to replant a lot of them at Charlie, yes.
And so in doing that, did you guys make any changes in terms of how you planted and any other production practices?
Well, I was already planting what I call a California set. You set one and go 4 foot and set another one, and then go 12 foot and set two more again, like that.
And what is that supposed to do?
Well, it gives you a better production. Makes a bigger tree, they go together.
Okay.
Looks like one tree. Actually, you can't tell it unless you get down and look at the stump and see it. It gives you better production quicker.
What about cover crops? I know there's been a lot of talk about different cover crops now. So many people going organic. Have you guys done any of that?
I never used any cover crops. They used to use Andy Indigo and Codillery for cover crops, but out there where I was born, right there on 31, where that Williams Fruit Company is now, at
Right.
200 acres. A big 2-story house, log cabin, 1933.
Oh,
My dad was crew foreman for A.C. Williams. He owned it at that time. And he was crew chief for it. He run all the groves for him. And then when I was 4 years old, we moved out and went down to Nocatee. My mother and father had a home down there, and we moved down there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did he still work for in citrus down there then, or was it the same company he worked for, or when you moved down to Nocatee?
Well, when I moved down to Nocatee, my father worked for Anderson down there for a while.
Okay.
Anderson
And still in
Groves,
citrus
yeah.
though, right?
Yeah.
And is that who you learned all of your citrus knowledge from?
Well, I learned it from my dad. He had a grove of his own. I bought his grove in 1966. After he got pretty old, I bought his grove from him. Yeah, I learned it from my father. Yeah.
And is that grove, do you still have that grove today?
No, I sold it. It's gone. Yeah.
So you run across some, I know, a lot of old characters in the industry.
Yeah.
And probably have some fun stories to tell, I'm sure. So who was your mentor other than Mr. Morgan?
Pardon?
Who would you say was one of your mentors other than your father?
Oh, yeah, Mr. Morgan was the main one, yeah. My father passed away in the 70s. Mr. Morgan passed away in 75.
Oh, mine.
Yeah, but he was, I don't know, he just took a liking to me, I guess. But he was a good man.
And who were some of the other industry people that you worked with?
I worked with, I worked with Sarles Brothers a lot. I didn't work with them, but I had a lot of contacts with them.
Right.
Yeah, Steve and also Howard and all of them. Yeah.
I know both Howard and Steve because I knew Howard when he was on the Citrus Commission, and Steve, more recently because he just went into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And then Justin, I guess, has taken over for him now.
Yeah, Justin's taken over, but he's selling a lot of it out too. This went bad,
Right.
He sold that Tucker 80 down there, already developing it,
Oh my gosh.
right next to me. But,
That's a lot of housing going up around here.
Yeah.
So,
It was good grove land too. Used to be one of the prettiest groves there was in the county right down there.
Oh my.
But got dipreppies in it. That's what took it out.
You see where you're focused on everything else, and all of a sudden diapreppies comes back. It's like, what happened? That's horrible.
You're all the time fighting something in this citrus.
That's true.
It's never no end to it.
24/7.
Yeah, that's right. The first greening tree they found in this county, they found it in our grove right there on Airport Road.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think her name was, come and checked it. She worked down in China with the University of Florida. Was her name Susan?
I don't remember that. I don't remember her.
She's never married. But she came down catching psyllid down there. And I told her, I said, we got ahead of it now. We put an admire on them about every 6 weeks. We'll take care of it. She said, no, you'll kill the psyllid, but you won't kill that greening. Says when he goes in there to get his food, sticks that sucker in that thing, he'll leave that greening if he's got greening on him. But she caught a bunch of psyllid, but none of them was positive. All of them was negative. But they were positive around though. But there's plenty of positive now.
Yes.
If he's out there, he's positive.
Oh well, it's hard to laugh at it, but you can't do it other than cry.
Yeah.
Gotta laugh rather than cry. So.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm really worried about the citrus industry now. I'm concerned.
We all are, absolutely.
I'm concerned if it's going to make it.
So,
How many plants are we going to have?
well, we went from over, I want to say 350 packing houses to less than 12. So that's how much the industry has contracted just on the fresh side.
A lot of them's quitting now. A lot of them's quitting, just like we did.
Yeah, well, you don't have the money to sustain it for.
Well, first we used to go sell some of the land we had down in Port Ogden. Some of them was going back pretty bad. And finally I told the boy, I said, see if somebody wants it all. Because I'm getting old. And I'll be, October 22nd, I'll be 89 years old.
Oh my gosh, you look 89 at all. You look great. I'm an October baby too. Not 89, but.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday in case I don't see you before then.
Thank you. Yeah, after this is final, I'll be 89 when we've settled it, finished settling it out. Everything's settled out.
Are you selling mainly for housing developments, or is it going to somebody going to stay in groves, or what?
Well, some of them staying in groves. Some of them still trying. And I know I talked to one here a while back. He says, we're about like you. we think we can stand it, we might not be able to. Because everybody's got problems.
Right.
There's problems everywhere. It's sad, to see it go back like it is.
Absolutely. When was Sunny South originally started?
Sunny South was started way back there. Most of the fresh fruit. It was Mr. Morgan. There was 5 of them that started Sunny South. But they had different grows,
Right.
George Russell was one of them, and York Whitney, John York was one of them. He was up in Boston. That's where he's from, Whitney was too. And there was another one in there. I don't remember who that other one was. There's 5 of them. Yeah.
Was Morgan the only one that lived here in Florida?
Yeah, he finally bought all the Sunny South out of from the rest of them. Same thing with Dixie Grove and Cattle Company.
Okay.
He bought that one out.
Was it the same partners?
He was involved in that one. Dixie Grove and Cattle was started by an old Confederate colonel. That's why it's called Dixie Grove.
Oh, really?
And he had 2 daughters. One was married to Mr. Dozier, mercantile uptown.
Okay.
And the other one's married to Dr. Burnett. He was a dentist. And Mr. Morgan bought Dozier out way before he did Dr. Burnett. But Mr. Morgan had made a deal with Dr. Burnett to buy him out when he passed away. And after he passed away, Dr. Burnett came and told Mr. Summerall's at the main office. That's the one I was in business with, Robert Summerall's. And we was the one that took over all this, him and I. But he told him, he says, Louis going to buy my grove and my stock out on the groves. And he said, I needed to put up some money for my wife so it'll be there where you have it. So he called me on the radio at that time. I didn't have telephones. He said, come in, I want to talk to you. We had cattle down there, me and Bob did. Mr. Morgan had already started us in the cattle business down there. And he said, Dr. Burnett wants to, we talked to Miss Gertrude about that, her stock, his stock. He said, why don't me and you, let me talk to Miss Gertrude, why don't me and you buy that, and then they can't run us off with their cattle. I said, okay. So he went and talked to Miss Gertrude. She said, yeah, buy it, and said, when you get where it can, I'll sell you mine too. So that's where we ended up with stock like that, buying it from her. Yeah.
A different way of doing business.
Yeah.
That was the nice times back then.
But he's been gone now, 18 years, about 18 years since he passed away.
Mm.
But he was a lot older than I was.
Yeah. And now what about Bob Summerall?
His name was Robert Summerall. Yeah.
Is he still around?
No, he's been dead for probably 17, 18 years. Yeah. He died in 2005.
Now, how did you guys hook up? How did you get together and start
Well,
doing
we just
stuff?
knew each other. He
Mhm.
worked the main office and I run the plant. And that's where we were together a lot, Then we got in the cattle business together. Mr. Morgan had some cattle that wasn't taking care of them and all.
So you got another job.
Yeah, so we took over the cattle for him, and 3 of us. He set up a corporation. It was called, took a corporation he had he wasn't using, Joshua Creek Groves. That's what we used cattle on. And then he set it up, and he really hadn't issued our stock. We didn't issue him any.
Oh.
So when he passed away, Robert told Miss Gertrude, said, you got some stock that hadn't been issued to it. She said, I don't want no cows. You boys have them. So,
Oh, my gosh.
so we gave that stock to my wife and his wife. So it made 4 of us then,
Well, that worked out well. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, well, Mr. Morgan sounds like quite a man.
He was quite a man.
Yeah.
He was a very intelligent man. He was a businessman. Wasn't no foolishness about him, but he was good.
And was he from the Boston area too, did you say?
No, he was from here. He
From
was
here.
raised here.
How
His
did he
father
get
was raised here.
How did he get hooked up with the guys from Boston? They just investors?
I reckon no. Well, I tell you, I represented him when they recognized him in Sisters. Out here on Agnet, whatever it was.
Right.
And I represented him then. But he always told me, he said, Bobby, go to the president when you want something. They got to go to him anyhow. And he told me how he got started. He caught a train here in Arcadia and rode all the way up to New York City. Chase Manhattan Bank. And he walked in there and told the receptionist, said, I'm here to see the president of the bank. She said, you got an appointment? He said, no, I don't have no appointment. I rode the train from Arcadia. I come to see the president. Can you see somebody else? You can't see him. I said, no. I came all the way to Arcadia from Arcadia. I'm going to see him before I leave here. So he went over and sat down in the lobby. She tried to get him to go someplace else, and he wouldn't go. About 3 o'clock, she come over and says, catch the elevator and go up a certain floor, and the man will meet you there and take you to his office. So he did. He said, I went up there. They opened that door. Here was a man sitting in a big old oak desk and a big old plush leather chair, and he looked at me and says, you come to buy my bank? He said, is it for sale? So he said, sit down. So he sat down and he said, you talk my business. So when he left there, he had credited $50,000. That was a lot of money then, back in the Depression. But that's the way he got started. And him and Mr. York up there bought a lot of groves together too. They had some groves together. When Mr. York died, then he bought his widow out. Yeah, paid her for the groves. Yeah.
I didn't know Mr. York at all.
Yeah.
So was he was here in Arcadia as well then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He owned a lot of property here. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Did he grow up in Arcadia?
Yeah, he was raised in Arcadia.
Okay.
Sure was.
So, was he a competitor for you guys? I guess he was.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's been dead a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
75, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was right after you shut down DeSoto Canning Company then?
Yeah. We'd been shut down about a year when he died.
Right.
But he told me, he said, if I take over the groves, I'll let you do what you want to. And he did. He done good.
That was good.
I know I put a rain gun out on 31. We had an 8-inch well there, and I put a pump in it and put a rain gun there. When the trees were so tangled, you couldn't get a rain gun through it. So I had to hedge every road the rain gun went down to make it go. And I got ready to hedge that Dixie Grove down there. And he come down that morning at 7 o'clock, the shop where I was at, and he says, we ain't gonna cut that grove. I said, you cut it, you'll kill it. You'll kill an old man if you cut on him. I says, get my truck. I got him in my truck and I carried him out there. Growth hanging about 1.5 feet, 2 foot, just green growth where it's hedged it. I said, what'd that look like? He said, my God, what you do to this? I said, I cut it. You hedged this grove? I said, no, I hedged every middle the rain gun go through's all. And I carried him and showed him another, and he says, that's okay, go ahead. He says, I just want to see it when you do it. And I knew if he seen them big limbs falling, he'd have a heart attack.
Absolutely.
So I drove him right down Reynolds Street where I live now, where he could see it. But I didn't drive him in the grove.
But it worked.
It worked.
That's all I needed to know.
That's it. That's all it was, yeah.
So who were some of the other characters that you came around?
Yeah. Well, he'd tell you a lot of stories. When I was running that plant sometime, he'd call him, you busy? If you ain't, come up and let's talk. He just wants somebody to talk to him about what goes on. Yeah, he knew Bone Mazel. He knew all them guys, you know. He told me about Parker Brothers, you know. They had a bunch of cattle in that bank up there, you know, whenever it went broke, when the government shut it down. So said Parker was the main one. He told him, he says, Likes is going to come in and try to steal them cattle. So they ain't going to want to pay for what they're worth. Mr. Morgan said, what are they worth? He said, they're worth $10 a head, but he ain't going to want to pay $10 a head. So he said, if he tries to steal my cattle, I'm going to kill him. Mr. Morgan said he would have too. So when they auctioned the cattle off, Mr. Morgan went to the auction, and the guy from Likes stood up and he says, Likes pays $8 a head. Mr. Morgan says, Sunny South pays 10. He said, Likes will pay 12. He said, Likes can have them.
So at least they paid what they were worth.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So.
But he was quite a man. He was a good man. He done a lot of good for people that didn't know it too.
Like, did he, in what way?
Well, he helped a lot of people that didn't know he helped them. He did it, yeah.
That's nice. So, now, there's a place here, I think it's this, I get them all mixed up because I don't live here, but is it Florinello's that people go to? What's the lunch place everybody always goes to?
The what?
The lunch spot everybody goes to. Everybody,
The reef and beef?
that's where that one is here. Okay, Reef and Beach. Tell me about some of those stories, because I've heard some funny ones at all the different lunch spots, and I want, tell me a couple of those.
Well, we just meet out there, mostly a bunch of growers and cattlemen, you know, and we'll usually sit at the table and talk. That's the way we do it, yeah.
It'd be like at my mom's kitchen table. We said if we had a tape recorder, just recording all these stories, we could write a book. It'd be a good one. It'd be a bestseller.
Yeah, I know. The other day I was out there and Mark came in. He's a realtor. Anyhow, he's one that sold a lot of this. And Robert, one of them that bought it, came in. He's sitting at the table next to me, and Robert told me, "So I want to ride with you one day, Bobby, and talk to you." And Mark said, "I want to go with you too." He said, "Mark, I don't want you talking. I want to hear him talk." He want to hear some stories too. Yeah.
Well, you want to tell the stories while we can. So,
Right.
because like you said, the industry's contracting, and
Yeah, you know,
we're losing all the stories. So I want to get them down as much as possible.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
A lot of history in it, yeah.
absolutely.
Mhm.
So, what are some of your favorite things that you'd like to reminisce about?
Oh, I don't know. I just love agriculture. I just loved it. I enjoyed it a lot better than processing.
Right.
Processing is a job, I'll tell you, a full-time job, especially when you're a small operation. Everything falls on you, all the purchasing and everything else. When I was running, I had to keep the cans purchased and everything purchased, boxes to put the product in and everything, sugar for the sections and all. And it was a job.
Right.
And the maintenance too, you know.
I would think the maintenance would have been a lot back then.
Maintenance a lot of
Mhm.
acid
Yeah.
and juice, you know, and anything that comes in contact with it's going to eat it up. A lot of citric acid in it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And when you first started, were you already doing the byproducts then, or did you add that? I don't remember.
The what now?
When you first started at the canning company, were you already doing the byproducts then, the feed mill? Was that already in place?
It was there when I went
Okay.
there. Yeah, they
Okay.
already had a feed mill. It was a Quonset hut. It was inside of a Quonset hut, and
It was nice.
Donna tore it down. Quonset hut
Oh,
blowed
okay.
it down. We had to put another building up near you.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. That was in the 60s.
Yeah. Took a lot of roofs off everything.
I was living in Cocoa, well, it's O'Galley then, was its own little town, and we were a block from the beach, because we walked to
Yeah.
the beach, and we had a hurricane party. My mom and dad and aunts and uncles all clustered in there and hang
Yeah.
out the cards and a hurricane lamp, because we're stuck here. We gotta keep awake.
Right.
Because if that
yeah.
roof goes, we've gotta be protecting the kids.
Right, yeah. Uh-huh.
So it was
Yeah,
scary.
Donna was pretty rough.
It was scary,
It
yep.
was pretty rough, yeah.
So, and then we were in Charlie when it came through, and my mother used to call all the kids Charlie because she couldn't remember the names.
Yeah.
And so Corey said, we're celebrating her 75th birthday, and that's when Charlie came through. I said, "Mom, this is on you." But we were there with her. They all still
Right,
came to the
right.
party. They left early, but they came.
Right, yeah.
So,
Uh-huh.
but that was a tough go there.
Yeah, Charlie was a tough one, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We took the blonde of it right through here, yeah.
So,
I went to the adjuster when he came over. He came across the river. He told me he done Andrew down there when we went through Miami, down in that area.
right.
He told me when I come across the river, he said, "Well, this is another Andrew. It was small, but it was tight." Because he could see what damage it had done, you know. It was bad.
Well, how do you clear out from something like that? I mean, that was underwater and all the trees were just twisted and thrown to the ground, and
Yeah. Well, the worst water we had was in Irma. Irma's the one that put 16 inches of rain on us.
okay.
I knew next morning, I left the house and went out there to 31 to check that grove. And I got shell roads around it. I got on that shell road and all I could see was water. I backed out because I didn't go no further. It took about 3 days for the creeks and all to go down enough I could get in the road to check it.
Oh, my gosh.
It was that bad. One by my house, some of them trees that run across there, the creek and all run across the grove there. You high as your head, there'd be debris up in that tree. That's how high that water got
Wow.
on that grove. Watch places out you bury a truck in. Yeah.
So after Irma then, what'd you do with that grove? Was it rehabitable?
Well, we just reworked it. Yeah.
And it survived?
Yeah, yeah. We
That's
lost
amazing.
a lot of trees out on 31
Mm-hmm.
because the trees was heavy loaded with fruit, and the Benton was the worst than the Swingle, because the Benton was set on 12 by 12s instead of two next to each other,
Right.
so they didn't have the root system protected. But the Benton, we lost about 1,500 trees blowed over it.
Oh, wow.
We got the fruit off of them, then took them out and replaced them.
So what's the acreage in the county now compared to what you've seen it go up and down, I know, but you have
I
an
don't
idea what we're
really
looking
know
at?
what it is right now. I hadn't heard.
Is there a lot of
what it is.
replanting going on here? Because I know some of the big corporations have come in and are, putting some
Yeah.
in, but,
Yeah, it's been replanting done, but I don't know how much more is gonna be done.
and everything with you is final in October, as far as shutting Sunny
Yeah,
South
Sunny
down?
South, yeah, it'll be gone in October, yeah.
Yeah. They're not taking over the name or anything, they're just taking the assets?
Just taking the land, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're not taking the money. All the stock will be liquidated.
Right.
Stockholders will get the money off of it, yeah.
Do you have a lot of stockholders now, or is it just your family?
Just two families.
The
yeah.
Bobs and Summeralls?
Robert Summerall's family
Yeah.
is, he's about gone, his wife's gone, his daughter's gone. I only had one daughter.
Oh, wow.
All he's got is his grandkids, his great-grandkids now on that side. On my side, I got a son and a daughter. I got one son that's passed away.
I'm sorry.
He was 45 years old and had cancer, yeah.
Oh, wow.
He worked for me then too. He died in 2004.
Wow, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just one of them things that happens.
Yeah, it's tough enough to lose a parent, but to lose a child is
That
just
man
another
that come
thing.
in and signed a check for, that's my son.
Oh, was he? He said, Dad, you forgot to sign my check. I heard him. Signed everybody but mine.
Yeah, yeah. And I got a daughter, and she's 58 now. But she always told me, she said, Daddy, I'm gonna retire when I'm 60. I ain't gonna work all my life like you have. But she didn't know I enjoyed it.
Well, that's the trick. You have to find something you love so it's not work.
That's right, that's
Mhm,
right.
yeah.
Well, they was in the McDonald's business, and they sold out. They sold out about 6 months ago. They was gonna sell when she got 60 anyhow and retire. But,
So she sold at 58 instead.
yeah, yeah,
Well, after you went through COVID and see all the hard work and everything that you've done, so I think people, they want to enjoy it while they can.
yeah, yeah.
So I
yeah,
guess
well,
I understand that. But it
well,
is-
if you like something else,
Right.
she likes to go to North Carolina. We got a home up there in the mountains in Cullowhee, and she likes to go there. Yeah.
So she'll probably move there, or she's going to stay here, or what?
Well, she told me she's gonna stay over 6 months, and down here 6 months. She gets my house when I'm gone.
Oh. Oh, well.
Yeah.
That's why you work hard, right?
Right, right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and my wife turned it over to her anyhow. And it's willed over to her.
Right,
Yeah.
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 Well, what would you like to make sure that we know about you and the industry, your life? Because I know I've kept you here quite a while. I know you probably get a little tired, but what would you
Well,
like to
it's-
say?
Well, it's sad to see it get in the shape it's in now. It's heartbreaking, really, because when you put all your life in something, you see it go back. You don't like to see it that way.
Right.
You like to see a beautiful grove. It's nothing no better to me than see a beautiful grove or a pretty bunch of cows.
Absolutely.
I like to see them that way. It's not the money part. It's what it looks like.
Right.
Yeah. But we went through a lot of it. We went through Trestasia. They said Trestasia would wipe us out. It didn't do it. They said canker get us. It didn't do it. Diprepes was rough, but we got through them. Well, greening come along, it just ain't been able to get rid of it.
Yeah, they thought they'd find a cure by now. That was the one thing they thought that they would be able to get through because it was just a
Right.
bug.
Yeah.
So that was the one thing we didn't, after everything else we've been through with the
Yeah,
freezes.
I know when
and
Greg Carlin was here, he was working through canker. He called me one day, he says, Bobby, meet me down there at the McClenathan Grove on the airport road. I said, I want to show you something. He said, it ain't canker now, don't worry. So I met him down there and said, they got a greening tree in this place right here. They stopped over, it was checking one every section,
Right.
trying to see if it had greening. They parked over by my side because there's a driveway going in there, and walked across there looking at the trees over there. They came back and looked at that tree, and he said, that looks like green. They pulled samples from it, and it was a green.
Oh, no.
He said, you got a positive tree. And Steve came down, and I took a hacksaw and cut it down. I mean, a pruning saw I had in the truck. And Steve said, you want me to cut it? I said, no, I'll cut it. We cut it down then. And then on 31, when they said cut them out, we cut 200 of them out of 31 there that had greening in them. Next year you had 2 or 3 times that many to cut, so we didn't cut anymore. I said, I'll just try to spray them and do what I can
Right.
overcome it. Because cutting it out wasn't doing it.
It
Yeah.
just probably dislodged all the bugs and made them spread.
Yeah. Murray Boyd, he was beating it too down there. You remember Murray? Murray Boyd, yeah.
Yes,
He's from Winter Haven too.
I remember Mary.
Because they called me, his guy with him down there one time called me and says, Murray wants to see that Bernie you got down there. Can you show it to him? I said, yeah. He was on his way back from Winter Haven. I said, tell him to call me and I'll meet him there. So I showed him that too. Drove him all the way through the groves. Got through it, he says, I didn't see the first bit of canker. I said, no, we got canker whip. We sure ain't got greening whip. Yeah.
Yep. It's a shame. Let's just
Yeah.
hope they come up with something.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine Florida without orange trees, citrus
No,
trees.
it's, when used to, olden age, you could set a tree and fertilize it and take care of it, and it would grow.
Right.
You didn't have no problem. Then all these diseases come along, they just throw the kink in them.
Yeah. Now, I grew up in Winter Haven, so I remember when they had citrus trees all the way up through Claremont and all the way
Yeah.
down to Miami.
Yeah, that's right.
And when you could only go down to Miami through 27, because I was born in Miami. You had
When
to
you
go through
know
the sugar cane.
They found the psyllid in 96 over here in West Palm Beach, remember?
I don't remember that, no.
They found the psyllid there, but they didn't worry about it because we didn't have no greening. Then all the lime trees and everything started dying in the homestead and went down there and it was greening.
Oh, my.
And they found that a lot of these ornamental plants had greening in them.
And now it's all over.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
So,
It's everywhere.
well, tell me some good news.
Well, I hope I got some.
You're retiring.
Yeah, that's about it.
Be a happy
yeah,
birthday
yeah.
present, I guess.
But I'll still drive around and look at them.
Right.
I'll still drive around and look, see what they look like. Yeah.
Well, happy birthday, and thank you for being here with us today. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. But it's 66 and a half years, I reckon, is enough.
I'm telling you, you're alive and kicking. I know it's wonderful. Looking good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay.